Hey everyone, welcome back to Echoes of Vinca. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating ancient European civilizations, the Vinca culture. But we're not just talking about what we know. We're tackling the biggest myths that have surrounded Vinca for years. What is real? What is exaggerated? And what have we completely misunderstood? Let's uncover the truth behind the myths. 1. The myth: the Vinca people were the first civilization in Europe. One of the most common claims about Vinca is that it was the first European civilization. While it's true that the Vinca culture c. 5700 for 500 BCE was one of the earliest complex societies in Europe, the idea that it was the first is misleading. Reality: other cultures existed alongside or even before the Vinca, such as the Starzevo culture 600 for 500 BCE, which preceded Vinca and shared many similarities. The linear pottery culture 5500 to 4500 BCE, which spread through Central Europe around the same time. The Cucutini Tribilia culture 4800 to 3000 BCE, which had its own advanced settlements. While Vinca was undeniably influential, it was part of a broader Neolithic revolution in Europe, not a standalone civilization that arose in isolation. 2. The myth: the Vinca created the first writing system. Some claim that the Vinca script is the oldest writing system in the world, predating Sumerian cuneiform and Egyptian hieroglyphs. Reality: the Vinca symbols, also called Vinca signs, do appear on pottery and artifacts dating back to 5300 BCE, which is older than Sumerian writing c. 3100 BCE. However, there is no clear evidence that these symbols formed a fully developed writing system. Many researchers believe these signs were proto-writing, a symbolic system used for marking ownership, trade, or rituals, rather than recording spoken language. Unlike Sumerian cuneiform, which evolved into a structured writing system, no long texts or readable inscriptions have been found in Vinca. It's possible that the Vinca script influenced later writing systems, but calling it the first written language is an exaggeration. 3. The myth: the Vinca were a highly advanced, lost civilization. Some theories suggest that the Vinca were mysteriously advanced for their time, almost like an ancient Atlantis. Some even speculate that they had technologies unknown to other Neolithic cultures. Reality: the Vinca were advanced for their time, but not beyond their era. Here's what we do know. They were early metal workers, possibly among the first in Europe to work with copper. Their settlements were organized and had early forms of urban planning. They had sophisticated pottery and trade networks. However, there is no evidence that they had mysterious lost technology, knowledge of electricity, or contact with extraterrestrial beings, as some fringe theories claim. While they were impressive for the Neolithic period, they were still a pre-literate society, without large-scale architecture or advanced engineering like later civilizations, such as the Sumerians or Egyptians. 4. The myth: the Vinca had a matriarchal society. One of the most popular beliefs about the Vinca culture is that it was ruled by women and that men played a secondary role in society. This theory is based on the large number of female figurines found in Vinca settlements. Reality: while female figurines are very common in Vinca culture, this does not necessarily prove a matriarchal society. Here's what we do know. The figurines may have had religious or symbolic meanings, possibly related to fertility or deities. Other Neolithic cultures also had similar figurines, but that doesn't mean they were all female-dominated societies. There is no written record or concrete evidence that women held political or social dominance. It is possible that women had a strong societal role, but we can't confirm that Vinca was truly matriarchal. 5. The myth: the Vinca civilization mysteriously disappeared. Some believe that the Vinca vanished without a trace, similar to myths surrounding the Maya or Atlantis. Reality: the Vinca culture gradually declined and transformed, rather than disappearing overnight. Several factors contributed. The arrival of new Indo-European groups brought changes to the region. Climate changes and agricultural shifts may have affected their way of life. Many aspects of Vinca culture continued in later societies, rather than disappearing entirely. Instead of a mysterious catastrophe, the Vinca were likely absorbed into new cultural groups, evolving into the next phase of European civilization. 6. The myth. Vinca had a unified kingdom, or empire. Some sources claim that the Vinca were one unified civilization with a central government or even a monarchy. Reality. Unlike later European empires, Vinca was a loose network of settlements, not a kingdom. Their villages were independent but shared common traits. There's no evidence of a centralized ruler or state. Instead, they likely had localized leadership, possibly elders or community councils. This doesn't mean they weren't an advanced society, it just means they were organized differently than later civilizations. 7. The myth. The Vinca were the forefathers of modern European peoples. Some theories suggest that the Vinca are the direct ancestors of modern Slavic or Balkan peoples. Reality. While Vinca occupied parts of modern Serbia, Romania, and Bulgaria, their direct genetic link to modern Europeans is unclear. Ancient DNA suggests that the Vinca people were part of the Neolithic farming migrations that came from Anatolia, modern Turkey. Later Indo-European migrations brought new languages and cultural changes to the region. While modern Balkan peoples may share some ancestry with the Vinca, it's unlikely they are direct descendants. The Vinca were part of the deep prehistory of Europe, but their cultural and linguistic legacy didn't directly shape modern nations. Final thoughts. Why do these myths exist? So, why do these myths about the Vinca culture persist? Lack of written records means we fill in the gaps with speculation. The Vinca's mysterious symbols and early metallurgy make them seem ahead of their time. The desire to find lost civilizations leads to exaggeration. However, the truth about Vinca is just as fascinating as the myths. They were a highly innovative Neolithic culture, making major contributions to trade, metallurgy, and settlement planning. They may not have been an empire or the first writers, but they were a crucial part of Europe's prehistoric past. What do you think about the Vinca myths? Let's discuss in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more echoes of Vinca. Until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of history.